Hey everybody, welcome to another Simplicity Made Simple video. I'm Jessie, in case we haven't met yet. I'm a simplicity strategist helping busy women overcome the overwhelm with simple strategies to manage daily tasks for their lives and homes so they can do more of what they love and less of what they don't. And today I want to talk to you guys about how you can simplify summer activities. Now, if you're anything like me, you see a whole bunch of summer bucket lists on places like Pinterest that have like 30 to 50 activities, and you want to do all of the things. And it sounds like fun. You want to go on vacation with your family. You want to build a sandcastle. You want to have a lake day. You want to have a beach day. You want to go to the dog park. You want to, trace your kids with chalk. You want to do all the things. But that can get kind of overwhelming, especially if a lot of the activities involve expenses or longer trips or just more time investment. That can get really busy, and it can feel like one more thing on your plate or 30 more things on your plate. And who needs that? None of us need that. We don't need any more pressure to live up to someone else's or even our own heightened expectations for what our lives need to look like. And that includes what our summer agendas look like. So if someone asks you what you have going on this summer and you don't really have a whole lot planned, that's totally okay. You can tell them, I'm just going to relax and enjoy my summer. I'm not going to fill it with things every single day or every single weekend. I'm not going to be taking trips and going places all the time. Maybe you have one trip planned. Maybe you have 3 trips planned because that's how you like to spend your summer. But maybe you're planning on sticking around. Maybe you're not really planning a whole lot of anything yet. And I just want to give you permission to do that, to do summer the way you want to do it, to not put extra pressure on yourself or let other people pressure you to make your summer look like something that you think it should look like. Your summer can look like whatever you want it to look like. It can fit with your stage of life, your family dynamics, your schedule, whatever kind of situation or circumstance you find yourself in. So I just wanted to say that up front, that your summer doesn't need to look like anybody else's. It doesn't have to look like what you dreamed it would look like. It doesn't have to look like what last summer looked like. It can just fit with wherever you're at. And that's a really freeing idea, to know that you can just start with where you're at and figure out what's going to work best for you this year with what you currently have and where you currently are. But some simple activity ideas never hurt. So I want to share with you guys some things that either don't take a whole lot of time. You could do them pretty quickly. You probably have these kinds of things or something similar in your area, so you wouldn't necessarily need to travel very far. And most of them at least, wouldn't cost a whole lot, which can be really helpful for people who are choosing to invest their money in other things, people who are kind of strapped for cash, or families that have a lot of kids, because those expenses really rack up quickly. Excuse me, I need some water here apparently. Okay, anyway, back to those summer activity ideas. Some of the things that I am considering and looking forward to this summer. Things like going to the library or finding one of those really adorable little free libraries. You know, those things that look like little houses, at least in our area. That's what they look like. They're mounted on a post usually. It's just a cute little cupboard sort of thing with a glass door that has free books. The idea is that you can take a book, leave a book, treat it like a little neighborhood library, and it's really precious, and I think they're so great. Or you can go to a traditional library and you could check out books, which is, the kind of traditional purpose of libraries, but they also can serve a lot of other purposes. They have events. They have other resources that you could check out, like movies. A lot of them have magazines and things that you could look at. They have computers that you could use if you just want to get out of the house, but you still need to accomplish something. They have other resources, like the ability to help you find a job or something like that. So check out your local library and see what they have. See what they have going on for events and things this summer, or just go and check out some books. You could also go to a park. I love going to parks. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not just for kids, although the play structures are generally designed for children. It can be fun to just walk around them, because there's something that's just innately peaceful about walking through a park as opposed to walking around neighborhood streets where there are cars constantly driving by. It's just so much more relaxing to walk through a park with grass and trees and birds flying around. It just does something for your soul, I think. So that's another really great one. Or you could walk around the neighborhood and just kind of people watch or look at houses. I think that's really interesting too, especially in areas that are maybe unfamiliar to you, or places that have more eclectic homes, or really big homes or fancy homes, or whatever it is that you think is interesting. That can be a fun thing to do too. You could go to the beach or the lake or the neighborhood pool, whatever you have in your area. That can be a really fun kind of day or like partial day activity. You just go for a little while, you get some sun, maybe you bring a book to read. You could, bring a lunch or some sort of like snacks or something and have some food while you're there. You can go with a big group of people and make it a group activity, which is fun. Some places like lakes and state parks and things have grills, so you could even have like a barbecue kind of thing, which would be fun. And if you do that, you can bring games and activities and make it like a whole big thing, but it still doesn't take a ton of effort per person because you're breaking up the effort. I mean, you're bringing food and you're bringing a little bit of games or activities or something, and maybe like swimsuits and towels and sunscreen. So it doesn't take a ton of prep. It doesn't have to be super fancy or formal. And that's what we're going for here. We're going for simple, easy things that aren't going to stress you out. So something like that could be really fun. You could go to a community center and see what they have there. Some of them have pools. Some of them have gyms or rec centers. Some of them have things like splash pads, which are fun for kids. So just see what's available in your area. You could go to the zoo or go to like a local farm or something that might offer tours, or like a petting zoo kind of situation, and just see some animals. That can be really fun. I think it's extra fun if you can get some kids to go with you because they're just so interested in animals. But see what kind of animal zoo kind of places are around you. Make sure to check their entrance fees. I know we have a couple in our area. One of them is free and one of them is not. So just pay attention to that because that might affect your planning. You could play a sport with some other people, whether that's adult friends of yours, or if that's playing a sport with your family, getting involved in a recreational league, or getting your kids in some sports. I know sometimes organized sports can be stressful because the schedule is so busy, but you could also just play pickup games with friends and, see if anyone wants to meet at the park at 7 tonight to play soccer or softball or volleyball or basketball, whatever it is that you like to play, or just gather your family in your backyard and hit a ball around. It doesn't even have to be like a full-fledged sport, but just get people together to do something active, because summer is a great time to do that, especially if you live in a colder climate like I do. You don't really get the opportunity to go outside and play games like that for at least a few months of the year because it's too cold. So take advantage of the summer opportunities for that. You could, on kind of the flip side of going outside and engaging in physical activity, go inside and make some food. You could bake cookies together. You could make smoothies. You could like make your own pasta, or you could do something really simple and accessible, like have a DIY pizza night, and you have pizza dough, whether you make your own or buy like the pre-made, rolled out, pre-baked dough stuff, and some sauce and some cheese and some toppings, and you just let people assemble it and you stick it in the oven and bake it. That can be really fun, especially if you get to kind of personalize your own. Everyone feels like they got to participate, and that's a super fun way to do it. You could do that with a movie night or a game night as well. So that can be really fun just to get people involved and do something a little bit different. You could read a book series together. So you could check them out from the library if you want to do it that way. You could buy them, but to read books with people. And again, that can be with friends of yours. You can start your own kind of book club sort of thing if you want it to keep going, or it could be a one-time event, maybe kind of a trial basis to see how things go before you make a longer commitment. Or you could do it with your family or with your kids. And find something that everyone's interested in reading. I think that's a really fun way to bond with people and encourage kids to read and be lifelong learners. So that's an option. You could also camp out in the backyard. Now, we never did this as kids, but I know other people do it, and I think it would be a lot of fun. We did go camping, which I always enjoyed. So that's something that you could do too. You could camp at a local campsite or whatever they're called, or you could just pop up a tent in your backyard and find a way to roast marshmallows or hot dogs. You could roll out the sleeping bags and tell stories, whatever you want to do to kind of make it like a camping sort of experience. That could be really fun. And camping in your backyard is a more low commitment and low cost way to do that, because if you have, let's say, younger kids, it might be harder to get them away from the house and worry about having everything that you need with you. And obviously you would have to pay for a camping site. So if you camp at your house, you don't have to worry about those things. You have all of your stuff and you don't have to pay for it. So that could be fun too. You could visit a nearby town or city and act like a tourist. Whether you've been there before or not, sometimes it's fun to just check out other places, check out the touristy spots, the favorites. If you look it up on like Google or TripAdvisor or something, you can find the highlights, the favorite places in those areas. And it's just fun to check them out, even if it feels a little touristy. It's still a really fun experience. You could also see if you have any museums nearby, see if they have any free days. I know that there's one around here that has a day a week or a day a month or something where admission is significantly less or free. I clearly haven't looked into it recently because I don't know the specifics, but that's an option too. It can be just a different sort of experience, and it's something to mix things up and just do something a little bit out of the ordinary, which is always fun for summer. So I hope that gives you guys some fun ideas, some different thoughts as to what you can do this summer, either as an individual or with your friends or with your family, without straining your schedule or creating crazy expectations, because a lot of these you could do on a whim, or you could move around. They don't take a ton of planning and prep, which is fabulous. And they don't cost a lot of money, which is also wonderful, because we have other things that we can be investing our money in. So it's fun to find activities and things that we can do that don't stretch our budget or break the bank. But I hope that helps you guys. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. I always love connecting with you. If you have any other suggestions for things that you want me to talk about, I would love to hear that from you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.